Yeah.
What's your reaction to that?
I like it a lot, man, because I've been in the playoffs before, and then that should be everybody's goal. You know, it's the playoffs. When I think about playoffs, my nipples get hurt. I'm sorry. That's the thing, man. It's the playoffs. That's all.
We are the New York Knicks. I'm back. Back in the New York. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks taking no shorts just like winter.
New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is
K-N-I-C-K-S.
Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Hey everybody, welcome to the New York Knicks Podcast, episode 434, part of the Almighty Baller Podcast Network and Dash Radio. I am Jay, and the guy breathing heavily into his microphone is Mark.
Is it that bad?
This is kind of bad, yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, whatever. So the big question, the preseason starts tomorrow. We are on the verge of actual basketball going on. Will Enes Kanter's nipples get hard this season? Sorry. Will Enes Kanter play any defense this season?
You just wanted to hear me say, I hope Enes Kanter's nipples get hard. Thank you for Felipe for sending in that clip.
Yeah, I dream about seeing Enes Kanter's nipples hard. Wouldn't it be great if the Knicks actually make the playoffs and he's like, look how hard they are, right? Look.
Philip, not Felipe.
Yeah. Jay, I have a big question for you. Okay, so I don't know if you've heard. Our boy Frankie Ntilikina, last year he was 6'5", this year he's 6'6". Have you heard that?
Yeah, I think we might have said that last episode.
Oh, we did?
Maybe.
Yeah, okay, fine. Forget it then. Let's move on then. Move on, whatever. Old news, new news. I was going to ask you, my question was really going to be, at what point will he be taller than KP?
Wouldn't that be funny if he just keeps growing?
He just keeps growing. He goes like 7'8". They're like, holy crap. Yep. I told you I was still growing. The whole team just keeps growing. Knox gets to like 7'5".
So there's a few updates. Nothing major, but a couple things.
Yeah.
Mudiay has lost 10 pounds.
Okay. I didn't know he needed to lose weight, but okay.
And
Sometimes I work like they always talk about the guy like lose, like it's either a guy lost 10 pounds or gained 10 pounds.
Right.
And either way, then they excited like either he gained 10 pounds of muscle, he's ready for the season, or he lost 10 pounds and he's going to be super fast this year. He's able to fly, actually.
Well, I mean, these guys are in incredible shape, so a 10-pound difference either way is kind of a big deal when you're already in like insane shape.
Yeah, no, that's fair. He is. I guess like you want a guy like KP to gain 10 pounds of muscle, so he can like fight in the block. A guy like Mudiay, you want him to lose 10 pounds so he's faster, lighter, like
right.
Speed is his game.
Well, apparently, according to David Fizdale, he's been pushing the pace, and he hasn't been turning the ball over at all. He has the lowest turnover rate out of all the guards in camp right now.
Guess who's saving his turnovers for the regular season?
So, I mean, if Mudiay can play even semi-decently, that's a huge, huge plus because he was pretty garbage last season.
I saw that on Posting and Toasting. I was looking at that today, and they were talking in the comment section. So people were talking about, like, how do we know Mudiay's crap? Like, a lot of people have already concluded he's 22 years old. They've concluded he's complete garbage. He shouldn't be on the team. We should give him any minutes. Do we really know that yet? He's been in the league for 3 years.
Right. Which he's been crap.
Yeah, no. He's garbage right now, but he's also 22 years old. Mm-hmm. Guys, those years, in a different world, he would have been playing college for those last 3 years and maybe maybe developing where his growth has probably been stunted by his situation in the last 3 years in the NBA.
It's a perfectly fine chance to take on him.
Yeah, he had a lot of potential going into the draft. What was his potential? Just because he was tall and lanky? Is that basically his potential?
Yeah, he was tall, lanky. It seemed like he had basically the build to be a really good point guard.
Okay.
And I think was defense? No. No,
I mean, everyone said he was supposed to be. They thought he'd be good on defense. There was a lot of based on his prior play that he'd be a solid defender. He hasn't been, but he was supposed to. So, but is he a guy? I mean, we have a lot of young guys in this roster. There are only so many minutes to go around. I feel like Mudiay. My thought on Mudiay, you give him a chance early in the year, but his minutes go down drastically if he shows no improvement.
Yeah, well, Fizdale also said he always wants 2 ball handlers on the court. So, obviously, Frank's going to get his, and Burke looks like he's going to get his. But then
Timmy's a ball handler.
Timmy's a ball handler.
I'm not being sarcastic. Timmy, he can be a decent ball handler. He's got a decent handle. If you notice last year, his assist numbers were up. He's not a bad second fiddle for a second ball handler on the court. Not be your primary guy, but
so basically, Mudiay is going to be fighting it out with what's his face? The guy who looks like an ice cream man.
Ron Baker. No, Ron Baker is.
Yeah.
Baker, I do not think will get many minutes this year. Do you really think Baker will get a lot of minutes?
Not unless Mudiay is complete trash.
I even with him being trash, I think guys have to die before Baker gets a lot of minutes this year.
Yeah, Baker's most likely not going to play, but you never know with the Knicks. There's always been guys that were like, oh, he'll never play, and then the 3 guys in front of him will get injured, and then the guy's starting for like 20 games. So
that's probably true. But the depth chart, I mean, you have to think like point guard, Ntilikina, Burke, 1, 2, whichever way you want to go with this. Mudiay is a distant third, and Baker is like, you can't even see him how far he is in the fourth here.
The depth chart on ESPN actually has Ntilikina as the backup to Courtney Lee at the 2.
It's really confusing also how they played Ntilikina. And I also think Hardaway is your number 2. He's not really a 3. I feel like Hardaway's going to see a lot more minutes this year at the 2 and not as many minutes at the 3.
They also have Hicks behind Porzingis in the depth chart, even though Porzingis isn't playing. So that's how much they think of Hicks.
ESPN just not even giving a crap about the Knicks.
Like, Hicks is so bad that he's behind a guy who has a torn ACL.
You're like, but he's not playing. Well, if he doesn't play, you get to play. He's not playing. Yeah, well, he doesn't play. You're not playing Hicks. Don't even show up to the games.
Basically, Porzingis has to die for Hicks to play.
Well, it's all because the positions are all confusing. We don't know what lineups the Fizdale is going to use. And there are guys like Hezonja. It's probably going to be more of a 4, even though ESPN might interpret him as a 3.
No, they actually have him as a 3. They have him as the starting. The 4. They have him as a starting 4.
I mean that's possible. The Knicks could go super small. They could have Knox and Hezonja as your 4-5 even for some lineups. Like I think we'll see some weird stuff this year. So let's get into it. So I had a list of top concerns going into the season, and I wanted to get your thoughts on my concerns.
I'm here for you.
Okay, cool. So my first concern, because I think we were hitting upon this, Derek Fisher. I'm not saying Derek Fisher's going to – I'm not bringing his name up as he's going to sleep with anyone's girlfriends. But Fisher's problem when he got here was that, like, the first year he couldn't find a starting lineup. Every night there was a different starting lineup. Some guys were playing one night, not another night. There was no consistency because, I mean, part of it was that like that team was crap basically, and he couldn't figure out who was better. It was hard to find any rhythm with the lineup because no one would stand out. And I feel like with this team, there's a chance you could. I'm worried that basically Fizdale will try to figure out who should be the starters and who should come off the bench. But there's so much parity on this team right now that there's a chance he'll be playing with different lineups every night, and it'll hurt guys more than it'll help guys.
Yeah.
So basically, inconsistent starting lineups, erratic playing time, guys having trouble getting into rhythm because Fizdale has trouble figuring out what his lineup is.
I would say yes and no. There's always these growing pains when you have a team that's not established. There's no set pecking order, but word out of training camp is that Fizdale is not focusing on turnovers and not pulling guys if they make mistakes, letting them play through it and learn from them. So there's not that fear like you had with Derek Fisher where a guy turns the ball over once and then he's benched for 2 straight quarters. So at least when Fizdale puts a guy in, you know he's going to get whatever playing time he had decided on, like a turnover is not going to change that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I mean, that goes to my concern number 2.
Okay.
Playing vets too much, just because someone has to eat up minutes, or someone has to score, or because you get too concerned with winning games, so you play the vets longer. Especially after the losing kicks in. When you're 10 games under 500 and it's December 1st, suddenly you need wins at the cost of player development.
Well, the good news for you is that there's not many vets on the team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the guys.
Are you counting Hardaway Jr. as a vet? Because he's going to get playing
Not.
time.
He's going to be playing. But wait, Tim Hardaway Jr., he's our all-star. I mean, I don't know if he's an actual all-star, but he is right now, he's our best player. How do you feel about that, Jay?
Not great.
And I'm not counting KP in case anyone get confused. KP I know is injured. I'm not counting him because he's injured. But everyone else, Tim Hardaway is our best player.
Yeah, he is.
Do you think $17 million is a lot to spend for your best player?
I mean, if you word it like that, but what if you say your best player is Tim Hardaway Jr.?
That is a good counter to what I said.
Without the name inserted, I would say no. But when you insert the name, I was like, it's not great.
It doesn't sound so bad until you find out it's for Tim Hardaway.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, he had some very good stretches last year and some very bad stretches and which, in theory, his numbers in general are trending in a positive direction.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he could shoot. Hardaway he got injured last year, which also kind of hurt his rhythm. And he also had to get used to everything falling on his shoulder, especially after KP got injured. I think we can expect his numbers to go up. I think Hardaway can get 19, 20 points a game. I think it's realistic that he gets his shooting percentage up to like 44%, maybe it's like 35% from 3. And then you're looking at being like, he's a pretty solid player.
I'm going to describe everybody on this roster right now in one sentence. He could be a very good player, but currently he's not.
And if Tim Hardaway, if he's covering the 2 versus would you rather have Hardaway covering 2s or 3s?
2s.
Yeah. He's not really big enough. He's fast. He's not really meant to cover 3s. If he covers 2s, his defense should look a little bit better because he's covering the correct position.
Right. Unfortunately, the best defender in the starting lineup is Courtney Lee, who plays the 2. And definitely shouldn't be playing the 3.
So Courtney Lee, it sounded like from Fizdale he's not going to have those 2 play together. He did not think they were both big enough to have one at the 2 and one at the 3. Courtney Lee is a concern of mine. Courtney Lee and Lance Thomas. They talk about veterans that should not get as many minutes. I'm worried Courtney Lee will get 30 minutes, which is not a good thing. I understand he's a good vet and people good to learn from him. We need to focus. We're not winning games. Like, just don't even worry about winning games.
Oh, he's getting 30 minutes.
I know that's concerning though, because like he plays a position where you need. He takes the 2. I'd rather Hardaway get his minutes than Courtney Lee get the minutes. Would you rather see Courtney Lee play or Tim Hardaway play? And remember, one of them's going to be here next year, and the other one's probably not.
I know, but I feel like you need some veteran presence, somebody who plays defense.
Yeah. Well, Ntilikina is a veteran. He's been here for a year, and he plays defense.
I think Courtney Lee should play 24 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. Courtney Lee, I definitely like Courtney Lee, but we don't need a ton of Courtney Lee. If anything, hopefully the Knicks will trade him this season, because for the Knicks and for him, because he should be on a team that's going to compete, because he can add a lot, and the Knicks just don't need him this year.
Courtney Lee, also known as one of the 2 free agent signings that we have approved of since the start of this podcast.
Would Kylo Quinn be the only other one?
Yeah.
What's the other one we've approved of?
Was Tyson Chandler a trade?
That was a trade. That was really a trade.
Courtney Lee,
No. It was really a signing. It was a signing. It was a trade. It was a. See, if you're talking about going back to since we started the podcast, Tyson Chandler was a trade. Was a signing. They did a trade to work out some of the money, but it was a signing.
Okay, yeah. So Tyson Chandler is the other one I was thinking of.
Okay, so my third concern And I just really also hate the arguments that you need someone to get minutes, you need someone to score. That was the argument for me bringing back Michael Beasley. You need someone's got to do the scoring. You're like, well, how about Beasley doesn't come back and score, and how we see Kevin Knox get those points instead?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just see if someone else will jump up and take. Someone else will go like, no one else is going to score. I'm going to step up.
Yeah,
That would make the Knicks a lot better. Okay, number 3, you kind of hit this a little bit. This is a thing that Derek Fisher did a lot, and this is a thing that Hornacek did a lot also. So not punishing vets for their mistakes or lack of hustle on defense, or staying on defense, but over punishing rookies for the exact same mistake.
Yeah, I don't think Fizdale's going to do that. I think he's going to not punish for turnovers, but I think he's going to punish people for not hustling on defense.
Well, I'm fine. You can be punished for turnovers, but they punish everyone for turnovers.
Yeah, treat everybody the same. I get that.
Treat everyone the same. But also, you're right. You can't have we can't like hit the gong because you had one turnover, and you're never going to develop Kevin Knox because you had one turnover.
Mm-hmm.
You got to let guys make mistakes so they get better.
Yeah.
Okay. So my concern number 4, either the team is losing way too much, or the team is playing well and encourage us / forces KP to try to come back. Either they're playing too bad and KP's like, I got to come back early because the team is playing too bad, or the team looks promising, so KP has to rush himself back. I am concerned KP will see what the Knicks are doing, and one extreme or the other extreme, and he'll get like, I need to come back. I'll be back by December. I'll prove everyone that I'm a warrior. Not actually going to the Warriors, but is that any in your back of your mind? KP really, he's making these workout videos. He really is talking up how his rehab. I am worried he's going to try to come back too early, and he's going to see what the Knicks are doing. That's going to encourage him even more to come back too early, get injured, and he will be out the following year.
Yeah, that is a very good concern. Fortunately, I don't think it's up to KP when he comes back.
I hope not. In theory, it should not be, but this is the Knicks, not a real team. The Knicks should just say to him, hey, you're not, no matter what you do, you're not coming back for the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it depends on his health. I'm just going to say...
just not to leave off the All-Star game. I'd rather just be cautious here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And my 5th concern, having too high expectations for guys like Knox and Robinson, Ntilikina to a lesser extent, and fans getting down on them early when they don't look like all-stars. And then these guys getting discouraged because the fans start jeering them, and they get crap on Twitter or wherever else, and suddenly it gets in Knox's head or Robinson's head, and they get worse because of that.
Yeah. Knox, Robinson, just don't look at your comments on social media, especially if you have a bad game.
I'm assuming Knox and Robinson are listening to the show, and they've heard that.
Of course they do.
Thank you. Of course they heard that. So those are my big concerns for this list.
Okay, I mean it's not a terrible list, but we've had more concerns going into other seasons.
I mean, the good thing is my concerns aren't winning games because that doesn't have to happen.
Right.
How fast though does it get to the team when they lose? It's one thing if the team is playing a couple games under 500, playing close games. If this team looks like just dog shit, that's going to be bad for everyone, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of factors. It depends how much are you losing by, are people trying, what the expectations were before going into the season.
But trying and winning kind of go together in the sense of you keep losing, guys just stop trying, you lose the locker room.
Yeah, but I also think it's I don't think anybody on the Knicks is saying we're supposed to go, be a 4th seed this year. I think everyone pretty much knows they're not going to be that good. So I don't think it's going to get to them as much as a team that's has expectations, a mid-tier, like a Hornets. They think they're going to make the playoffs. And so if they start off 0-5, they might lose the locker room quicker than I think the Knicks would.
So you know what you should do? You should make a Twitter account called I don't know why this jumped in my head. Are Cantor's nipples getting hard? And after every loss, you say no. After every win, you play yes, and see what happens.
I guarantee that would have thousands of followers.
Yeah, that'd just be the Did JR Miss Twitter page. Yeah. Twitter one. So what else is going on here? So there were lots of updates on what's going on in training camp. I think Fizdale even commented on Alonzo Trier, who he said he's showing a lot of promise. It sounds like everything he's saying that Trier has potential to be a real NBA player. Let me ask you, is there ever bad news out of training camp? Outside of guys being injured, it's always positive, like guys always are getting talked up.
Yeah, that's true. They're never like, oh man, Mudiay was just complete shit.
Yeah, and they're like, Mudiy's not turning the ball over, but he's still a piece of crap. It's never like Knox can't hit a shot in training camp. Just letting you guys know, it's all a PR machine basically. Training camp.
Yeah. I mean, you got to start off on a high note.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Hey, we've had training camp for 4 days, and I've come to the conclusion that there's no chance of making the playoffs, and the whole season's a waste.
That'd be an interesting thing to say.
Yeah. I don't even know why we're lacing up our shoes for tonight's game. We have no chance of winning.
One of the more interesting things Fizdale said, yeah. I don't know why we're even going to the games. We shouldn't even attend the games. I'm calling it right now. We are just not going to any of the games this year.
We'll go to the Kings games and the Suns games. That's about it.
I'm openly calling for the players in this team to retire from the NBA. One interesting thing came out of training camp was that Fizdale said the starting lineup is a free-for-all. It's an open competition. No one has their place on the team. Even Enes Kanter, who clearly the only center with any experience in the NBA, should be our starting center, but they claim it's an open competition. They asked Mitchell Robinson how he feels about that. Does he have a shot at starting center? He was kind of taking it not so seriously, but he was like, yeah, that'd be great if I became starting center. But what do you think about this whole everything's up for grabs?
We've called for that on multiple occasions throughout the course of this show. So I'm glad we're finally getting coaches doing that. Yeah,
no, it's
How many times did we say it should be based on who's doing well, not who makes the most salary or who's been in the league the longest? We said that so many years.
What's your draft night? What's your day one? Not game of one of preseason, but game one of the regular season prediction for starting lineup.
I think we're gonna have Burke, Lee, Hardaway, Knox, Kanter.
I feel like he already said that at some point that he does not want Lee and Hardaway being our 2-3.
Yeah, at some point.
But okay, so I'm gonna say. So you don't think Ntilikina is going to start in game one?
No, I think he's going to be splitting minutes pretty evenly with Burke until one of them stands out.
Okay, Ntilikina, Hardaway, Knox, Hezonja, and Kanter. That's my prediction for game one. Oh, sorry, not Hezonja. Lance Thomas, Enes Kanter.
Oh God,
that's what I predicted our opening start. That's not a bad. It's fine.
You know how I feel about Lance.
You love him. Every year you have to do an apology episode for how much you love him.
It's like an annual tradition. I do an apology episode for Lance Thomas because he has a great week, and then he just sucks the rest of the season.
Well, just kill him as much as possible so he plays well. Because you know what? He always does it when you rag on him.
I know, it's always the very day after I go off on him for an entire episode.
You'll spend an entire episode, and then the next night, he'll go off. You'll be like, I didn't know Lance Thomas could even score the ball. He scored 30 last night?
But then in my defense, then he'll stink for 2 months.
So what else? What else is going on?
Where are they now?
Well, do you want to hear a free agency update?
Sure.
Okay, so 2019 free agency update. There are big free agents the Knicks want to go after, and I feel like we should just talk about them briefly before we get into other things.
Okay.
So Jimmy Butler will not be on the Knicks in 2019 because he's being traded somewhere else now.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. He's not going to resign with every team he goes to. So I think.
Well, he said he wants to, but also he's assuming that he's going to get traded to a team he wants to go to.
That's true.
What if he gets traded to the Kings? You really think he's going to re-sign a 5-year contract with the Kings?
It'd be crazy though. Within 3 years, he'd want to leave 3 different teams.
No red flags there.
No red flags there at all. But I think Jimmy Butler will be traded. Maybe Miami. That seems to make sense.
Miami seems like they're the front runner right now.
But that's our update there. There's a chance that he'll be traded somewhere else. Knicks do not seem in on this at all. but he may be off the pay table.
Fine with me.
Kyrie Irving, they asked him about playing on the Celtics in the future. He said the team is really good. Why would I leave, basically? Of course, I love they ask these guys these questions, and they're shocked that Kyrie Irving didn't say, I don't want to be on a Celtic. This is going to be an awkward season, but I want it out of here.
Yeah, especially like 2 days before the season starts. They're like, how do you feel about your team?
But Kyrie Irving, do you feel like Knicks seem like they're targeting Kyrie Irving? Any concerns that the Celtics are too good for him to leave?
Yeah, absolutely. Celtics have a chance of winning it all this year. If they do you really think Irving's going to leave?
Kevin Durant has yet to swear his undying loyalty to the Knicks, and seems like he likes playing on a team that wins the title every year.
That's weird. We need a sanity check on him.
I got someone first, though.
Okay.
I have someone. He's going to be a free agent very soon. Actually, there's a chance that he will be a free agent within the show could be by the time the show's over, he might be a free agent.
Okay.
He's a former defensive player of the year. He's in the best shape of his career every year.
Ooh, that sounds good.
He's doing workout videos of him dunking that are all over the internet. Knicks are thin at center. He plays center. And, well, should the Knicks jump in and max out Joakim Noah? What do you think?
I mean, if they buy him out, they could get him at the min.
By the way, did you see this thing about Joakim Noah on Twitter? Let me go. What are you waiting for? I don't want to. You don't want me here. So let me go.
Is that what he wrote?
Yes, on Instagram.
Holy crap.
It's let me go, 3 exclamation points. What are you waiting for? 4 exclamation points. You don't want me there, so let me go, 3 exclamation points. He deleted it thereafter, but screenshotted it now. It's on, I think Knicks Film School put it up there. Ian Begley retweeted it.
That's strong.
Buyout negotiations are going well.
Okay.
How harmful it really is for the Knicks if they just tell him to go home and not play basketball in the next 2 years? I mean, they could revisit this when he wants to give up more money. Because I guess the thing is he doesn't want to give up money, which I understand he signed a contract. The Knicks are like, hey, we'll let you play for a different NBA team this year if you give a little bit of money back. And Noah's like, no. So Noah's putting these things on Instagram, and the Knicks are saying, yeah, well, we're in control. You signed a contract. So
yeah,
it so harmful for them to say, go home then?
It's not the worst. I mean, it's really bad as far as like his career goes, but on the other hand,
bad for him. How is it? The only thing the Knicks really care about is it bad for them with future free agents?
Right. I don't know how that's perceived. I mean, obviously it's not cool to just say like we're going to waste like maybe the last 2 years of your productive career. On the other hand, it's in it.
Knicks will always pay you on time, all your money, and they'll even say you don't have to play basketball anymore.
I'll not work for 100% of my paycheck.
Yeah. I mean, I wish they could like make him do something else. That would be not that like they're like, okay, well, you have to work. You have to start a farm. No, I'm going to check out your progress on our new reality show.
Not even that. Like,
Noah the farmer.
You're like in a defensive coach now.
Well, they could do that probably. I feel like there's a lot of bad blood there, so I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't either.
I don't think you go from buyout negotiations to go to hey, you want to be our defensive coach? We just realized you like defense. We need defense. Let's do this.
Well, obviously the guy doesn't want to be coach. He wouldn't be dunking in an empty court in front of nobody if he wanted to be coach.
I mean, why are the workout videos just of him dunking?
Well,
like, shouldn't he be doing other things?
Cantor did the same thing. He was dunking from directly under the net, uncontested. I'm like, okay, well that will like never happen in an actual NBA game, but glad you're practicing that.
Good. We didn't realize you were tall. You're still tall.
Yeah. It's like I noticed there's no clips of Cantor playing defense being distributed throughout the net.
Which is I noticed there's no clips of Joakim Noah doing anything productive on the NBA court.
So where are they now?
Where are they now? I also had an article I want to go over with you real quick. But give me the where are they now.
J.R. Smith We know where he is, but did you know what he's doing?
What is he doing? Getting high right now somewhere at a club.
Well, yeah, probably. He got a tattoo on the back of his calf for a streetwear company, which is basically advertising. And now the NBA is saying it has to be covered up, and he's pissed off. So he basically got an ad tattooed on the back of his leg.
He didn't see this one coming where the NBA is like, you can't sell space on your body.
Maybe he should have asked before he got a huge tattoo that covers his entire calf. I mean, this guy is full of great decisions.
Holy crap.
Supreme. It just says Supreme, which is a streetwear company.
How did he not know that would be an issue?
How does he not know the score of a game in the finals?
I mean, the NBA should have waited a little bit and he should have waited a little bit till he had a Nike swish across his forehead and then be like, you can't do this shit.
I mean, this guy is just amazing as far as content goes.
Where are they now? Playing on the Cavs, but not here on Earth. So we have I know you did a rankings, right?
I did.
A roster ranking. Before we get to that, 1 second. Sometimes you Google Knicks and you want to see what's going on in Knicks articles around the internet. Sometimes he'll put out things that are such shit, and they basically spent 12 seconds on this article, and it's just for clicks. So this comes to us from the International Business Times.
Oh yeah, well-renowned sports website.
That's where you go for Knicks coverage. But this was the third hit when I Googled the other day for news articles on the Knicks. The article title, NBA, Kevin Knox open to Knicks signing Kyrie Irving, Jimmy Butler. So the big thing this article found out was that they actually asked Kyrie, not the International Business Times, but someone else asked Knox, are you open to the Knicks signing good free agents? And he's like, yeah, why would I not be? So here's how shitty the article is. So first it starts off with the New York Knicks rookie Kevin Knox is keen to win an NBA championship with his new team. Okay. Something that has not happened now for 55 years. He believes the team has the ingredients to make it happen in the next 5 years. Okay, almost no content so far. Then it goes on. The 19-year-old was drafted by the New York Knicks franchise. He's been given hope that they can compete for a starting spot with by David Fizdale, who said all 5 positions are open. So there's some content there. Then it goes, the Knicks are hoping to build a squad to challenge the championship and are hoping that Kristaps Porzingis can lure top talent, the likes of Kyrie Irving and Jimmy Butler. You've learned almost basically the headline of the article gave you almost all the content. Then it goes, there's no secret that Butler wants to play with Irving, and the latter is said that the Knicks are a top target and free agent. Kevin Durant has also been linked to the team. Then they said Knox revealed that he's okay with having these guys on the team. It's just I think the exact. He believes the Knicks hierarchy will do what's needed to bring in the right players. And he made it clear he would love to have one or more All-Stars on the team, Kyrie Irving or Jimmy Butler.
Mm.
I mean, this article must have taken 12 seconds to write. You look the facts about Knicks, and you have an article.
Is there a link to a sports book in there?
There's a bunch of random things at the bottom, but those promoted links on the bottom of the articles of weird sites.
Yeah.
This stock could be like Amazon, and you could buy it for $3. But he he also the whole article's stupid, but it's just I hate when the articles are just there's just Kevin Knox is open to having All-Stars on his team, and he said so, and okay, that was a story. We got some clicks. We're moving on now. I don't know. Okay, let's go to your rankings.
Okay. So I made a rankings. This is during the season on our website, the NewYorkKnicksPodcast.com. I do Knicks roster power rankings. I haven't started doing it this season yet, but we figured we'll do an oral version of it for this week. and Mark is going to guess what I have as the rankings.
Okay, this will get sad really fast. Okay, so we're going to start in number 1 and number 15.
Start at 1.
Okay, so working our way from the best player on the current Knicks roster, and we're not including Porzingis because he's injured, right?
Right.
Current active roster, number 1 has to be Timmy Hardaway.
You are correct. You are off to a fine start.
Okay, we talked about that. Your best player is Timmy Hardaway. That's going to be a great season for you.
That's the thing.
Go Knicks. Number 2. Enes Kanter is our number 2 on this. No, you are going to put number 2 on your list, Courtney Lee.
Correct.
Courtney Lee, because he plays some defense.
Yes.
And Jay values defense.
I know. Call me crazy.
Call me crazy. And Courtney Lee is a decent player. He'll put in up some numbers for you some nights. He shoots a pretty solid percentage from 3. He's a good veteran. He is the kind of guy you want these players to learn from. I just don't want him getting 40 minutes a night. I agree. 24 minutes a night sounds very good to me.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 in this list, it's going to be Enes Kanter for the lack of anyone else on the team.
I actually did not.
Oh, okay, wait. You're number 3 on this list. It's not going to be. I feel like you're not going to jump in the young guys so fast. Well, I don't know if you cannot.
Yeah, I mean,
because the whole roster is young.
Yeah.
I feel like your number 3 is Trey Burke.
Yes.
Okay. Any concern this year that Trey Burke? So everyone said the issue with Trey Burke is that he shot a ridiculous percentage from his. He shot a lot of long twos last year, and he shot a very high percentage from long two that people don't think is sustainable. That he's going to come back to earth and not look nearly as good. Very
possible, but as of right now, I have pretty good feelings about him.
His defense didn't look like trash. He's a little small, so he's going to have trouble guarding guys no matter what. But okay. And his cornrows, they're pretty solid. Number 4 on this list, Enes Kanter.
Yes.
Jay wishes he can put him at like 10, but then looked at the rest of the roster and said, God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, his defense is so bad, but on the other hand, his offense is better than anybody else on the team. So
Enes Kanter has said he would like to mentor Mitchell Robinson. I assume that Enes Kanter is not even going to think of mentoring him on defense. Like, Kanter doesn't think of defense. He's definitely not going to think of it enough to go like, here, let me tell you about defense.
I mean, if he could teach Robinson how to rebound and where to be and stuff, teach him stuff he doesn't know. That's fine.
Teach him offense. Teach him being in the post and rebounding. If he can have his game anywhere, if Robinson can have his game could anywhere close to what Mitchell Robinson's game, with what Kanter's game is in the post, Robinson will be an absolute beast.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be funny if he spent the whole time going like, yeah, I was just telling him about positioning on defense and where to be. That's all we were talking about.
I was telling him, like, defense doesn't matter. Look at me. I'm making $20 million a year, and I don't play any defense, so don't worry about it.
So number 5 on this list. But I like the idea that he's mentoring him. I hope all the mentoring doesn't mean like, okay, Mitchell Robinson's going to be clever on Twitter also. Okay, you got to recruit LeBron James. Just troll him on Twitter until he comes to the team. Number 5 on this list. This is where it gets ugly.
Yeah, this is where I started getting sad.
I think you're going to put. Well, you said sad, so it's Lance Thomas.
No.
Okay, number 5 in this team. Then I don't think you put Knox there. I think you have to put Ntilikina there.
Correct.
Okay.
You're doing pretty good.
Ntilikina, he's our 5th best player coming in the year, which is pretty solid for a guy you drafted the year before.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he. I mean, his defense is awesome. His offense. Do you think he'll be? He said he was in his head a lot more last year, and Fizdale has emphasized: don't be in your head. Just like do what you do, be aggressive. Everyone always talks about him in practice looking awesome. Do you think we're going to see carry over in the regular season? You think he's going to look a lot better this year?
I do. I have a good feeling about him.
I think Fizdale is going to be the cure for what ails him.
Yeah.
Number 6 in this list is Lance Thomas.
Yeah.
And Jay...
I was not happy about that.
Probably contemplates suicide while putting Lance Thomas...
This is when I emailed you and I said I did the list and I'm sad.
This is getting hard. Okay, so Lance Thomas can shoot pretty well from three. Plays solid defense. He may not be amazing on defense, but for this roster, he looks like he basically looks like the best. He looks like Ben Wallace basically on this team in comparison for just how bad this team is on defense. Number 7 on the list.
Can I just say after this point in the list, you can pretty much just throw darts against the wall?
7 on his list, Herzanya.
No.
Oh, okay. Number 7 on the list. Are you putting Kevin Knox number 7 on the list?
I am, yes.
Which is hard to do because he's yet to play an actual game in the NBA.
I know. Apparently in training camp, the first day he looked lost because he was having trouble adjusting because he said the people in training camp are much better than the summer league players. But by the second day, he was picking it up and looked fine.
Okay. Yeah, no, I heard that comment, and
the fact that he could pick it up after one day, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, the NBA is a lot faster, and like he's going to have, it's going to be some adjustment pains, basically trying to get him catch up to the NBA game. Mm-hmm. He only played 1 year of college. There's only so much you can expect from him. So number 8 on your list. I'm surprised though you took Herzanya's number 8, right?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you put Knox above Herzanya, who's played in the NBA for 3 years. Well, sorry, he played in the NBA for 6 months.
Yeah, he.
I know. He actually played longer, but like he's only looked halfway decent for half of one season.
Yeah, that's why he didn't look good for most of his time.
But he looked last year. He had a solid stretch of like putting up like 15, 20 points a game. He looked pretty solid. Once Orlando moved him to the 4, where he felt more comfortable, and he could dominate guys that are guarding him. He's very athletic.
I've seen very little of Herzanya.
Okay, he's supposed to be very athletic. I mean, they said once he was guarded by fours weren't fast enough to keep up with him, and he was able to really exploit them. Mm-hmm. And also, when Orlando's spacing got better, it helped him a lot.
I may have went low on him.
Okay, number 9. This is where Jay it's got really hard, right?
Like I said, it's just like pick a player. Like, can you really argue?
Mitchell Robinson didn't even play in college last year, so I can't think you put Mitchell Robinson here. I think we're number 9, number 10, right? We're up to or number 9.
Number 9.
Oh God. Number 9.
I know it's very hard right now.
I guess this is why you didn't want to start at 15. Yeah. I guess I'm gonna go here with Mudiay.
You know, I did not go with Mudiay.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say you didn't put Noah Vonleh here since you've never seen him play basketball.
No, I think most people on the planet have not seen him play basketball.
You can't really put Ron Baker here because that just seems... No. Ice Cream Man can't be number 9.
No.
Luke Cornett.
No.
Who's Mitchell Robinson?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. So he didn't play in college last year. hasn't played professional... hasn't played... Well, I guess he's played some organized basketball, but like he hasn't played for a whole year really. Mm-hmm. He's making a leap from high school. Doesn't know where to be on the court, which is very evident in the summer league. He knows where to be on the court, and he's our 9th best player.
I mean,
the potential's there.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking I should have. Well,
how do you like his nickname, Thin Shaq?
It's fine. I mean. Yeah, I mean, just looking at the guys below him, I don't know.
Who called him that? Was it Burke or I forget who called him that? But do you remember when Melo said Hernan Gomez was like Marc Gasol light or something? Like he was the next Marc Gasol?
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't happen. I don't think he's going to be Shaq, but he does look. He's very thin, but he's huge. Robinson's huge. He's very agile. I would take his defense over Enes Kanter's any day of the week, even though Kanter's been in the NBA a lot longer. I think his athleticism will make up for a lot of things. I respect this. Number 10 on the list. I mean, holy crap, this roster gets bad at this point. I think you're going to put Damian Dotson here.
I did not. He looked.
Yeah, he looked terrible in summer league. But he had a couple games last year where he looked decent.
Yeah.
Luke Cornett.
No.
Mudiay.
No.
Ron Baker.
Yeah.
Really? That's ridiculous. You just don't like the other players. That's just being like, I'm gonna be petty because I don't like the other guys.
Baker didn't look that bad before he got injured last season.
He didn't look like an NBA player at any point that he's played on the Knicks. He's okay on defense. He shows some hustle. He gets some turnovers. He shows hustle on defense. He's not great on defense.
I think he looked better than Dodson a lot of his time on the court.
His offense is atrocious.
Yeah.
You've seen the ball, like, when Baker starts dribbling, you're like, no, don't do that. Like, you're screaming at like a horror movie. Don't go in there kind of thing. He shoots from three a horrible percentage. He's not good. He's not NBA material. He just like won some like stupid GM lottery.
I mean, this part of the list was very difficult to do.
Okay, number 11. We said Mudiay already or not?
No, we didn't.
Okay, Mudiay, number 11.
No, but this was before all the news came out about him looking better.
Okay. Damian Dotson. No, you're gonna put Luke Cornett here, number 11.
No.
Damian Dotson?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean,
okay. The rest was Luke Cornett, Mudiay, Vonley.
Yeah, you didn't really have to. We didn't have to play that out anymore.
Yeah, I mean, some of those guys might not even be on the roster by next week.
I think those guys are all going to be on because Trier is going to be on the D League team. Hicks is also a two-way, so he's going to be on D League.
I didn't
and
include,
no one else they signed recently is going to make any difference.
I didn't include Noah, assuming he's getting bought out.
Kadeem Allen's not going to be on the team.
No, I didn't do Kadeem Allen or Hicks. I'll make an actual list after I watch a couple preseason games. So I'll let everybody know when that's up on the website.
We don't have a ton of questions tonight. Do you want to do our preview? Let's do a brief preview of the NBA. Our quick preview.
Sure.
Okay, we don't have to take long on this.
Warriors are going to win. Okay, that was it for our preview.
That's pretty much it. Okay, so you want to do the East or the West first? Should we do? Let's do the West because let's do the West first.
Okay.
Okay, so number one on your list. Okay, Golden State Warriors, right? That's your number one.
Yeah.
Okay, there's literally I cannot even see a scenario where the Golden State Warriors. Well, barring injury, yes, I can. Outside of injury, I cannot see a scenario where the Golden State Warriors aren't the best team in the NBA. By the way, Klay Thompson, free agency update. He said he wants to be on the Golden State Warriors the rest of his career.
Why? That's so weird.
Yeah, it's weird. These guys want to like win. Like we go to the title every year. I want to be on the Knicks instead. I wonder what losing's like. It builds character. My character sucks ever since I've been here. Okay, so number two. I'm going to say the Rockets are still pretty good. I'm going to say the Rockets are number two, even though they didn't do a lot to improve the roster. In some ways they made the roster worse by adding Carmelo Anthony.
I think they're worse, but they're still the second best. But I think it's a lot closer now. It was like last year, it was 1-2, and then like the next team was like 5.
I do think that the Melo will look a little better. It sounds like he swallowed some of his pride and he's open to coming off the bench. I don't think Westbrook necessarily was a helpful player for him to play with. Between Harden and Chris Paul there, he'll get some very good looks. I think Melo will look a little better. They brought back Capella, which was huge. You couldn't not bring back Capella.
Yeah, but they lost Ariza.
Do you think Capella is a good, like, this is where we want Mitchell Robinson to go? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, if Robinson can turn into Capella, that'd be great.
According to Mitchell Robinson's coach from high school, he could actually shoot from the outside too, which we did not see in summer league.
Okay.
Okay. So you said Houston number 2, right?
Yeah. I think it gets interesting after the top 2.
Yes. Yeah. So number 3, what do you got?
I think it's going to be the Thunder.
Oh. Son of a... I was literally going to say the Thunder.
Okay, so maybe it's not as interesting.
Because maybe it's not as interesting. I think it took them a while to gel. I think removing Carmelo from that team probably helps them.
Well, don't forget they'll get a healthy Roberson back too.
I think that'll make a big difference. I think they're going to look better generally.
Yeah.
Number 4 on this list. Yeah, so the question really is, how good will the Lakers be?
Mm-hmm.
I think Portland is such a good regular season team. I'm going to put them at number 4 here, but I don't think they're going to go anywhere. Like they were very good last year, also Portland.
I think they peaked. I think that's it. I think it's downhill from here for Portland.
I mean, it's arguably. I mean, but they still. I mean, you still have your offense. Your 2 guards. You're 2 of the best guards in the NBA. Not the 2 best, but like 2 of the best.
Offensively.
Yes, offensively. I don't know. I still think they're going to be very good. And their defense, apparently, like last year, they played some pretty solid defense last year in the second half. I'm going to put them 4. Who you putting 4?
The Jazz.
Yeah, that actually is not a bad call either.
You got to think Robinson's going to get better. Rubio's still really good. You got a lot of Gobert. They got a good team.
Fine, I'm just going to take the Jazz at 4. I'm going to switch Portland to number 5. It's hard to argue against that. Yeah. Okay, I'll move Portland to 5. Who are you going to put 5?
I don't even think I'm going Portland at 5.
Where are you going? Lakers?
I'm torn. I think it might be the Nuggets.
Nah. Nuggets, I never really believe in them. I know they're supposed to be getting better. I think they're a fringe playoff team next year again. I think they're going to be a fringe playoff team for a while. I just don't think they can. The West is too strong, and they're just not. I don't know. They should be getting better. I mean, I feel like they would kill it in the East, but I feel like the West is too tough. I'm going to say number 6. I'm going to say Lakers.
That's fair. No, I think that's good. Yeah, I think 6 for Lakers is good.
Yeah, I can't see taking them any. I do think. I mean, the big thing is how Ball and Ingram play with LeBron, but I have to think like they're going to be better having LeBron there.
Yeah.
I mean, not the team. Obviously, the team will be, but I think like Ball will look better. Like LeBron will influence them in a positive way. I just can't see how the Lakers being. I mean, LeBron's there. I mean, 6 seeds are pretty low to put LeBron James.
It is, but look at the other teams ahead of them.
So my 7, OKC.
Wow.
Not OKC, sorry. Okay, New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to put Portland.
Oh, okay. They're also a team that they could be even better than that.
They could.
Number 8. I kind of want to go out on a limb and say like Phoenix is going to make a run. They're going to be a lot better.
No.
I mean, they got Ayton. They got
You're out of your mind.
But that'd be kind of crazy.
That'd be very crazy.
Dallas also, they could be. I mean, they got your favorite player from the draft.
Yeah.
I don't think the Clippers are going to be there.
I don't think Doncic is going to put them.
Yeah, no,
Well, they got DeAndre Jordan too.
So my number 8 here, I'm going to say, yeah, that's true. Dallas could be pretty good. So I have trouble saying, as hard as to put Lakers in number 6, I have trouble saying San Antonio is going to miss the playoffs. So I'm going to say San Antonio number 8. They got a what's his name's got a chip on his shoulder.
DeMar? DeRozan?
DeRozan, yeah. DeRozan got a chip on his shoulder. You got the best coach in the NBA. The team was pretty good last year, and they had no one, basically.
Yeah, you still got Aldridge.
Yeah, you got Aldridge. I mean, yeah, not no one, but like they got Aldridge, and they didn't have much else last year, and they I cannot see them not make the playoffs. I have to say they're 8. Denver, I know you put them high. Denver, I just don't see them making the playoffs.
The West is really tough. I mean, this is crazy.
Really tough, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'll go San Antonio 8 as well, but then now I have New Orleans not making the playoffs. So like,
yeah, I mean, like you
so
have
tough.
like Sacramento's still going to get beat up upon. Sacramento, are they better? Probably
no. Sacramento's 15th.
Bagley, we're going to do first 8 and last place. Last place is Sacramento.
Yeah,
Agree?
absolutely.
But like, I think Phoenix is going to be better than last year. They're not going to make a run for the playoffs, but they're going to be better.
I still think
they're
Phoenix
not. They're not
is
a pushover. I don't feel like anymore.
No, but the West is so crazy. I think they're still like 14th, even though they'd probably be a playoff team in the East.
Dallas is going to be a tough team to beat. Also,
Yep.
I know we're leaving out. Also, is Jimmy Butler's team. Obviously, Jimmy Butler won't be on the team, but Minnesota. Is Minnesota going back to like the just being crap again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not crap, but they're going to be like a 10th seed or something.
Well, it's just crap. I mean, you're just not making the playoffs. You're not one of the best.
The West is insane. You got Grizzlies not making the playoffs with Conley and Gasol.
And we're not even thinking about them making the playoffs. There's just I can't see it.
Pelicans might not make it with Davis. The Mavericks are probably not going to make it with Jordan, Dirk, Doncic. I mean, the West is insane.
Yeah, no, it is really. Yeah, that's why Lakers at 6 is not even like that bad because you're like the West is insane.
This might be the deepest the West has ever been since I started watching basketball.
So we both agreed on Lakers being 6. Who do we both had OKC at 3.
There's like 13 good teams in the West.
Yeah, I was thinking like first round Lakers versus OKC. That'd be a freaking awesome first round. Seeing like LeBron could get knocked out in the first round.
Yeah, it's very, very likely.
So that is awesome. The West is great. Now let's go to the trash conference. Are you in favor of them going to one conference and just doing the best 16 teams?
Yes.
Because a lot of people see. I still like having the East and the West.
I do.
Mostly because I want every good player, anyone that can dribble the basketball without dribbling it off their feet, should go in the West, and so the Knicks can finally make the playoffs.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but on the other hand, some years you had like a 37-win Pacers team making the playoffs and a 49-win team, Suns team, not making the playoffs.
But it goes in cycles. Sometimes the East is good.
The cycle's been going on for like 20-something years, and it's just getting worse every year.
The cycle will end eventually. No, you're right. But it also encourages different styles of play. The West is a little more run and gun. The East tends to be a little bit more like fight it out. I don't know. I like having the divisions. I like that division winners go in. I like having rivalries. I like having an East and a West. I think it overall will hurt the NBA getting rid of the conferences. I hope they don't do it.
I think it hurts the NBA having a garbage team that has no chance of doing anything making the playoffs.
Stop. I want the Knicks to make the playoffs, so stop it. I see. I totally understand what you're saying. But it is kind of cool. Like, when a team that's not so good makes the playoffs and they can make a run in the playoffs.
Yeah, but that almost never happens. I mean, are you really looking forward to whoever's playing Boston in the first round, or do you know that's going to be a sweep?
I remember the year Dallas took out Golden State took out Dallas.
Yeah, that happened like once ever.
The Sonics were taken out by Denver.
No, we should have a crappy first round because twice in NBA history the 8th seed won.
I don't know. It just also takes away from you'd like to have like rivalries and like I don't.
There'll be new rivalries.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Well, it's not happening this season. So, the East, where it gets so much harder. But I think the first couple are pretty easy. So number 1, Boston, far and away.
Yeah, it's not even close.
I think not even close. If Boston is not the best record in the East, they've had a horrible year.
Yeah,
they pretty much it's finals or bust.
Boston's like a legit 11, 12 deep at this point.
Yeah. So number 2 here. I'm going to say I think Philly should take number 2.
Yeah. I looked at Philly's roster. They're about 10 deep as well.
But they had a bad offseason. What did you think of the offseason?
I thought it wasn't great, but apparently Fultz is looking pretty good now. I mean,
that's
huge.
The biggest thing.
That's huge.
If Fultz looks good, he can play like the number 1 pick in the draft, then everything else is like whatever. The fact they couldn't sign a free agent doesn't even matter.
Yeah. Bring everybody back. You got to think Simmons and Embiid are going to get better, and Fultz and Saric. And then if Fultz looks good, you have your top 4 players getting better.
And you got Redick. You got a solid team there.
Yeah, Covington. It's a good team.
Okay. Number 3, Toronto.
Yep.
It'll
get interesting after this. The top 3 is pretty much set. Okay,
so Toronto. This is assuming if Kawhi comes back and looks like garbage, I still think Toronto could be number 3. I still think they have a very good team and they can make up for it. But Kawhi will probably look pretty good.
I think he'll look pretty good. I don't think he'll look like Kawhi of 2 years ago, but I think he'll look all right.
Yeah, that's a pretty good player, Kawhi. I don't think Do you think they'll at any point regret the trade?
No, because I don't think they were close to winning the way they were. So
They didn't think
why
he
keep
was the
running
answer in
back
the
the same
playoffs.
squad that just can't function in the playoffs?
Yeah. Okay. So number 4 here.
I mean,
Actually,
you got to remember, like DeRozan, like they weren't even playing him at the end of games in the playoffs. Like he was.
No, they.
I don't know what's going on with like playoff DeRozan, but it's not a good thing.
No. So number 4, I actually think number 4 is still pretty easy. I think it gets more interesting after number 4. I think 4 is Indiana. I don't think this. I think they should be number 4.
Yeah, that's true.
They should be better than last year. Yeah. Number 5. 5 it gets hard.
Yeah,
I guess obviously.
It does.
I mean, I think I want to go with the Wizards here.
The Wizards are so goddamn dysfunctional. You know, Dwight Howard's already got back problems. He's already missing.
The Wizards got that Howard.
Yeah, Dwight Howard's been on a different team every year for like the last 5 years.
I mean, it's amazing. He was one of the best players in the NBA, and guys get age and they get hurt, but like one of the best players in the NBA. Like every year, Orlando having Dwight Howard meant they were going to fight out in the playoffs. They went to the finals one year with him, and then he left Orlando and left his career behind.
Yeah.
You wonder, like, if he'd stayed in Orlando, would his career have just collapsed like that?
In his 20s too. He was still in his 20s when he left.
No, I mean when he went to the Lakers, everyone thought that was the biggest deal.
He's still only like 33.
That's unbelievable too. But he just went into one dysfunctional situation after another dysfunctional situation. He became dysfunctional, or was already dysfunctional, and like, what? That's the one, like, hey, you want to leave your team that's like everyone loves you and you have a great situation for more money, or like you don't like playing here? Well, there is Dwight Howard. He's the boogeyman. His career ended when he left.
Yeah.
Okay, so
so you're going Wizards.
I'm going Wizards. Where are you going to go?
I'm going to go Bucks.
The problem with the Bucks is they just aren't. I don't know why they're not better.
Well, I told you last season they don't have a lot of good players, but
you have one of the best players in the NBA.
Yes, and I think in the East that alone gets you the 5th seed.
Yeah, well, it didn't last year. What seed were they last year?
Last year they were. Last year they finished in 7th.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
5th to 7th. They were.
Yeah,
well, they were tied for 6th.
Okay, so anyway, I'm going to take Wizards at 5. Milwaukee, I kind of am tempted to put at 6. I guess I shouldn't have. I'm going to say number 6, very functional. I think Miami plays good basketball. I think Miami's going to be number 6.
I was going to do that based on the fact that I think Jimmy Butler will be on the team.
Yes, that also is a factor. But I think even without him, they could be close to 6. With him, they probably jump to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, I'll take Milwaukee.
I'm going Wizards.
Okay.
So this isn't a very...
It's not that interesting, not at all.
No.
Number 8, Knicks.
No matter when we do these standings things, you always throw the Knicks in just to get some positivity in there. I like it.
Yeah. Well, also Knicks will go to the finals. They will make an historic run in the playoffs because they'll sneak into the playoffs at like a 31 wins, make an historic run to the finals, and then beat Golden State in 6 games. That's my prediction for the season.
See, now with 8th seed, I'm having the exact opposite problem that I was with the West, whereas all the rest of the teams are trash, and I don't know who gets like the. See, this is why I want the top 16 teams. I mean, Cleveland, you still have Kevin Love. Tristan Thompson thinks they're absolutely a playoff team.
I just can't see Cleveland going to the playoffs. I just don't see it.
The Pistons, you have Blake Griffin.
Yeah, I mean, but they didn't make it last year, so.
That is true. And the Hornets, you got Kemba Walker.
I think Hornets will be my maybe my 9th seed that maybe could take the Knicks out. Orlando's a joke. There's no way you put Orlando there.
I mean, I think I might go Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm going to say for last place. I was going to say Orlando, but the Brooklyn Nets still exist, so Nets.
Nets were 12th last season.
Yeah. They're still garbage though. And what do you got? Who's last here? Orlando? It's Orlando or Brooklyn, I think.
You're not going to pick Atlanta to go back to back?
Oh, Atlanta? Yeah, Atlanta, you're right. And Chicago. Yeah, it's easy. This is the hard part. Number 15 is the hard part. Chicago should be they should be okay.
Yeah, I might go Atlanta. I mean,
yeah.
If Trae Young is a bust,
Atlanta, you're right. Trae Young, I don't think he'll be a bust. Do you think he'll be a bust?
Yeah.
See, I don't think he'll be a bust. I just don't think he can score.
Yep.
I think he will score 20 points a game. I think or somewhere close to 20 points a game.
Way.
Just on shit shooting.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
He's giving they don't have anyone else. They are giving him every opportunity to score.
Yep.
He's going to be taking 20 shots a game, so
he had trouble when college players were locking down on him at the end of last season. Now he's going to have NBA players locking in on him.
No one's going to have to lock down him. The other teams are going to be up by 30 points. They're like, go for it, Trae. Who gives a shit?
So you think he's just going to get 5 points
garbage,
for the first 3 quarters and 15 points in garbage time?
I think he's going to have garbage stats, low percentage. It won't be the number, it'll be where the number's deceiving. He'll be he put up 19 points a game. Pretty good rookie year. Shot 33% from the floor. Maybe not a good rookie year.
You think he's just going to be Melo, but even worse?
Well, no. I mean, I just don't think he's going to be. I think you're right. Guys are going to lock down on him. He's going to take lots of shots. He'll have some nights where he'll look good. We'll have a lot of 3 for 20 nights also.
Yeah.
Somehow he'll have a high scoring average.
Okay.
I think it'll just work out from the fact that no one. Who else is going to score in that team?
I think it's going to be one of those teams where the high scorer on the team scores 12 points a game.
That you're wrong. No, give me an over-under on this. Let's make a bet.
I would say
over-under 15?
Sure, I'll go under 15.
Okay, I'll go over 15. What do you want to bet?
Burger bet?
Sure. I was going to say, can we bet one of the whatever the cryptocurrencies still exist? But let's not do that. Yeah, I'll bet you a burger.
Okay. Questions. nyknickspodcast@gmail.com. Mr. C writes, hey guys, Vegas has the Knicks over under at 29.5 wins, 5th worst in the NBA. Would you bet the over or the under?
I would put $50 on the over.
It's a tough one.
Would you put $50? I don't know how I can go make this bet, but if we could go online and make the bet, I would make the bet right now for $50.
You're that confident, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a way to actually do this, but if you figure out a site to making bets, I'll make a bet $50, and you can make the bet whatever bet you want.
Wow, and you're not even a gambling guy, so you're very confident about this.
Yeah, I will say. I mean, I don't think going way over. I think 31, but I'm going over.
To keep it interesting, I'll go
$50 is a lot for me to bet. So
yeah, no, I know. I'm surprised.
It's more than what I have left in Stellar Lumen, or whatever dumb coin I bought.
It's about to rally. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. Over under. What do you say?
I'm gonna go under.
Okay,
but I think it's really close.
Okay,
I'd say 28.
Next show, by the way, is our draft episode, right?
No, I think we have one in between. Yeah, the draft is on the 13th. Spots are all filled. Thank you, everybody who is participating.
Okay. Next question.
That is it for emails.
Okay. Facebook. I don't think we asked for anything on Twitter. Grant writes, what are the odds of making the playoffs this season? So if you were an odds maker, where would you put the Knicks at making the playoffs? 8th seed. What payoff would you be willing to give for someone makes a bet, they're like, I'm gonna make $20 bet with you, what odds would you give me on the Knicks making the playoffs? So if it's 30-1, Knicks make the playoffs, you pay them $600.
Yeah. I would give 20-1.
Yeah.
Even though you just picked them to make the playoffs.
It's just tough for this team. If Kevin Knox looks awesome, that makes a huge difference, but we have to see him play awesome. And then there's so much this roster needs. So many guys. You said everyone on this team is they could be good. They're just not yet.
Yeah.
It's a hard team to make the playoffs. It would be awesome though. We have such low expectations. This team like plays 500 ball and just like fights for an 8th seed. Even if they don't get the 8th seed, it'll be an awesome season.
Yeah, even if they're just fun to watch, even if they have 25 wins this season, if they're fun to watch, I'll take that.
What does it mean though, being fun to watch at 25 wins? That's a really hard thing to do. Like win 25 games, be fun to watch because losing just like takes away fun.
But what if they lose a ton of games, but they're losing by like 5 points instead of getting blown out on a nightly basis?
You know, it was fun. I watched the whole Knick game and they lost by 5 points. That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you're saying, oh, these young guys are developing, they're looking better every day, and they're competing, they're not winning, but they're coming close, and all this losing is getting us closer to another top draft pick, like, I'm fine with that.
We've been waiting so long to see this. We've been waiting for a young, developing team with a bunch of guys they drafted or just young players they signed from elsewhere, but like just young players that have a lot of potential. This is it. This is the season we've been waiting for so long.
I think the Knicks have the 5th youngest team right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you have the rankings? I'd want to guess who the youngest team is. Because I'm going to say like Phoenix is the youngest team.
I'll see if I can pull it up. I had it earlier.
Okay. Raffi writes, what's your take on Frank Isola getting fired? Good for the Knicks. By the way, Isola got a job with The Athletic, so he's good.
Yeah, he's
I mean, hopefully he gets. I don't know how much he's getting paid, so hopefully he gets the same salary, or if not better, from what he was making before.
I have nothing against even.
He just annoyed Knicks fans because he would troll Knicks fans on Twitter, which was kind of annoying. Like you heard him in interviews, he'd be a great person to interview, and like he provide a lot of like interesting insights on the Knicks. Like he was a great interview. He was just like annoying as hell on Twitter.
Yeah,
that's most people take on Solo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So what's my take on it? It's for him getting fired. It's kind of bad for the Knicks. Like anyone like that's covering the team getting fired, that sucks.
Yeah.
But you got to do another job. Are you thinking at all about subscribing to The Athletic?
No.
Yeah.
Happy for him. Not gonna do it.
Yeah. No, nothing against him. I'm just like wondering if like. I guess the thing is, I'm like, I pay for the New York Times. I think they respect the Times. I like their content. It's a pretty good like. Are there that many people who are paying for The Athletic? I'm amazed that this will actually take work for them.
I don't know.
Whatever. I guess. Anyway, no one pays us, and we're doing the show. Ben writes, not really a question, just a rant about the price of Knicks tickets. Coming over from the UK in October, I ended up paying $400 for OK seats. Managed to get tickets in New Orleans for $15 each. Doesn't help we're seeing the Nets twice either. You know, it's so annoying. I haven't looked at the prices yet, but my son really wants to go to a game this year. The tickets I can't spend $400 to take my son to a Knicks game.
I know.
It's goddamn like we should fly to New Orleans to see a Knicks game. That makes more sense. I should go anywhere else to take him a Knicks game, but I want to take him a Knicks game at Madison Square Garden, obviously.
So the only thing I could find real quick was right after the trade deadline, so it's a little bit outdated.
Oh, the age.
Yeah.
And
so do you still want to guess?
Oh, I thought it was
Knicks are 13th, right after the trade deadline, but that was
I said it was
6 months ago.
Phoenix.
Yes, you're right. Phoenix.
Okay. I'm just gonna look at stuff up right now. Knicks.
Knicks tickets are completely out of control.
I should go through a preseason game. Preseason games are probably not bad.
My mom sent me an email. It was like Knicks preseason games starting at $60.
It says Friday, Brooklyn Nets and Knicks preseason next Friday the 12th, or not next Friday, but the Friday the 12th for $36 from Thursday. But you know those aren't the best seats and all.
And is that at MSG or at Barclays?
At MSG. Okay. I feel like I might have to think
But still, starting at $36, they used to have $10 tickets for regular season games.
I know.
And not long ago. Not that long ago.
before they got Amari there, you can go on StubHub the day before, or that day.
That
get
day.
like $10 for a ticket, and now the Knicks are garbage still, and now you can't get a ticket.
Yeah.
So I would want to take him to like a Sunday game. Let's find a weekend game. Okay, so that's in Toronto. Hang on. I know there was a December 1st game I was kind of targeting for him. But I'm not looking at prices yet. How do you actually buy just like actual tickets from the Knicks without like paying the secondary market?
Go to MSG.
I guess go to MSG. Let me find this. Why am I not finding games where the Knicks are at home?
Well, the tickets are expensive. Let's move on.
Okay, let's move on. Yes. Now I'm shopping for tickets. Okay. Anyway, the tickets are ridiculous. Okay. Rafi writes, if Ntilikina shows this year he can orchestrate the offense and be more aggressive, then Burke improves also. Do the Knicks still want Kyrie?
Probably.
I mean, if Ntilikina gets better and you can see him really developing at point guard, then why would you bring in Kyrie?
If you still think Kyrie's better than both of them. I mean,
yeah, but Ntilikina costs you a lot less, and if he's going to, you think this guy's going to be an all-star.
I'm not saying me personally. I'm saying that's what I think the management would want.
Yeah, it's hard to see them not, whatever his development, it's hard to see him not wanting to bring Kyrie in, and I guess you could do a 2-point guard lineup, if anything, and Ntilikina can be more of a 1-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's see how the season goes before we answer these kind of questions. But before we have to figure this stuff out. But and also Kyrie may just stay. He may just stay on the Celtics. Stefan writes, "Who will have the best season out of last year's lottery point guards?" So this is Dennis Smith, Lonzo, Frank, De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk. Why don't we rank them actually? Who's number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on this list for best seasons?
One's got to be Lonzo, and he's going to be playing with LeBron on a pretty good team.
Yeah, you'd think that would really benefit his game. Yeah, I would think Lonzo's number 1. 2, I think Frank's got a decent shot here.
Yeah,
but you would think De'Aaron Fox was pretty highly touted also. But Sacramento sucks.
And Smith is going to be on a good team.
But Smith is not going to orchestrate the offense anymore.
No.
I'm going to go Frank number 2 on this list. I think Frank will have a pretty year. I think I'm going to put De'Aaron Fox 3, Dennis Smith 4, Malik Monk 5.
I'm good with that list.
Daryl writes, last question. Mark, the Mets won 11-1. The Jets' first game with the new QB, the score was 48-17 in favor of the Jets. All of this was followed by crushing disappointment. For those that don't know, the Mets had after starting off an amazing April, or at least amazing run at the beginning of April, they had an historically bad June. Maybe the worst June in their history of their franchise. The Mets were 11-1. They ended the season 8 games under 500 after going on a nice run to end the season. The Mets were so goddamn bad for much of the year after having the best start in franchise history. The Jets went 48-17, blew out Detroit. Everyone was so excited. The Jets are now 1-3. Have looked like shit the last 2 games.
That's why you don't judge a team by how they look against Detroit.
Yes. So see if you can get Jay to pinpoint the exact timing of when the Knicks will do the same to us this year.
Oh, I know exactly. This is easy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can name the exact day right now.
Okay, please.
December 19th.
What is happening that day?
December 19th is when I'm going to get my final grade for the CPA. I'm going to pass. I'm going to be like, I have all this free time. Let's watch some Knicks. That's when the wheels are going to fall off.
It would be funny if the Knicks, I almost feel like it's going to be a trend. The Knicks are going to start off the year 6-2. Knicks fans are going to be jizzing in their pants. Be like, this is amazing. And then go 8-80, have 8 wins at the end of the season. It's crazy how that happened with the Mets and then the Jets. The Jets only won game, but it was a really crazy good first game.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did we learn today, Jay?
December 19th. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
I mean, well, could it be any more perfect for me to finally have free time for the first time in like 7 years, and then have them just everyone gets injured and they suck?
I mean, when has the team been relevant after January?
The Mike Woodson year where they made the second round.
Yeah. And we know it also, we're talking about this roster, someone's getting injured. Every year someone gets injured.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't even factored in injuries.
Right. Well, I
This
mean,
team's gonna-
maybe our injury is Porzingis.
Yeah. I mean, this team is going to be, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, like you have a lot of games against the East. So hopefully that benefits the team.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do the Knicks get to play any non-NBA teams? Like, do we get some games against like the WNBA? Because that would be very helpful for our schedule.
It would.
Okay.
So the New York Knicks Podcast.com is our website. NY Knicks Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and Patreon. If you want to help support the show, that's a good way to do it. Subscribe for as low as $1 a month. We keep everything free, but it's a good way to help support the show. See how nice my voice sounds right now? It's because of all the donations. I got some nice equipment.
The Celtics are playing the Knicks on October 20th. Tickets start at $149.
Jesus.
I mean, this is all just StubHub. I mean, like, obviously, I guess if you could get the tickets from the Knicks directly, they would be they might be cheaper.
And if you want to leave us a positive review on iTunes, we'd appreciate it. I'd love for we got a few 5-star reviews, but they didn't have any text.
Why are you
attached.
obsessed with iTunes? Just stop it, Jay. We've got a lot of reviews in there. Just stop. You're obsessed with iTunes.
I just
leave
want
it
a
alone.
couple with some positive comments. It seems like the people who give us 5 stars don't write a text comment. The people who don't like our show write text comments. And I just want a couple.
Jay,
Yeah.
you know, I can get for $50-something. I can get the Knicks against the Orlando against the Knicks on a Saturday night.
Okay, well, that's Orlando.
I'm fine with that. I just want to get the Knicks play a game, like where I don't break my bank to go to this game. But I have to sit in the. I love when you click on best seats. This is great. You click on best seats and or no, not best seats, best value. Best value is not bad. Get $62 lower level. Maybe I should get these tickets right now.
Go for it. All right, we'll be back next Sunday. Thanks for listening, everybody. And yeah, we're going to be recording weekly going forward. So we'll be on a Sunday night schedule, except for 2 weeks from now when we do our live draft episode, which will be on a Saturday.
Tune in to that episode where I do everything possible to ruin Jay's draft night.
Yeah, it's a now annual tradition.
Jay has said I can nominate. It's an auction draft. Jay says I am allowed to nominate players for him instead of him doing his own nominations. So I'm going to screw his team completely.
Really looking forward to that.
Plus, I think we should do the team over unders while we do that, so I can like distract you also.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
So goodbye, everybody. We'll be back next Sunday.
Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go.
This is the end.
Say goodbye. You cannot go away.
I'm going